Where he go?
So, Fetal, asked no one ever, when are you going to do one of those stupid Wish.com things where you order something random off Wish.com and open it on camera? Well, I actually did it. I went to Wish.com a couple of weeks ago and ordered something kind of random, and the randomness was I ordered 500 magic cards for, I want to say it was around $8, which included the shipping. Amazingly enough, it shipped from somewhere here in the United States, so I got it relatively fast. It was so fast that when I got the delivery notification, I had no idea what it was, and I actually had to dig through my notes and figure out what it was. So this is the unopened package. It came all the way from Arkansas. So I'm curious what's in my pack of 500 Magic the Gathering cards ordered off Wish.com for stupid cheap. I'm wondering, are these counterfeit cards? I doubt it. If it would have come from China, I would have suspected they were counterfeit cards. But the fact that this actually shipped from a domestic address leads me to wonder. Just now, the description said that there was going to be a mix of commons and rares and uncommons. We'll see. If it's nothing but land cards, we can play the sad trombone sound and say I got ripped off. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe this might actually be worth something. Let's see. Well, I got the bag open here. Oh, they're loose. They are. Some of them are in protectors even. Okay, well that's a gold. So it looks like what they did, if I'm guessing correctly, these are... Oh, actually, wow, these are kind of all mixed up. So yeah, they look like, of course I couldn't tell you what legitimate Magic cards look like, but there's a fairly common card. They're all mixed up. Looks like I've got a bunch of different generations in here. They all look like they're in very good shape. Here's a fairly old white border. Yeah, Phantom Monster. I don't even know if you're allowed to... Some of these cards may not even be valid for tournament play anymore, I think is so what this looks like, if I was to guess, and again, I haven't really taken a good inventory, but I'm going to guess that these are all low-value cards that a store, in fact, based on the address here, I'm going to say it was a store of some kind, has been sitting on their shelves and they're just trying to get rid of. Yeah, actually, I'm mildly impressed with the selection. There are actually some interesting cards in here. There's one. I don't know if the camera's focusing on it right. I can't really tell from here, because I often don't know what this camera is focusing on. Here, let me actually see if I can get it to focus on this. I've never actually seen a card like this before. Those of you who play Magic a little more than I do, maybe you have. Why is the camera not focusing? Focus. Focus. Okay, I don't know if that's enough in focus for you to be able to see what it is. I can't tell because I don't have my glasses on, and the camera's in viewfinder mode. Interesting. And that's just the first half I was able to grab. Actually, the first third. Second third, looks like. Oh, hey. Ooh. Who remembers that card from way back in the day? I know I did. I had a copy of that at one point. Wow, this is... Okay, So I'm going to step aside for a minute and I'm going to actually dig through these cards with my glasses, but on initial inspection, these all look, these are all legitimate cards, and of various vintages. I mean, a lot of them are hyper common. Like I know that one for even though it's an old card, it's. I remember having a shoebox, not a shoebox, but one of those little like 200 card deck packs with like just those cards in it. Of course, I collected Magic cards like a fool when I was younger. Hmm, there's an interesting one. Those of you who are a little more up to date on Magic than me, granted I've been keeping up on buying decks, but haven't been keeping up on playing in quite a long time. Yeah, I don't know what these. I don't know what these instants are. That I think they're dual. Okay, I think I get it. I'll have to research those. But let me sit down and let me sort through a few of these and I'll come back with with a little more of an analysis. Be right back. Ooh. Some of these they actually kept in the protectors because they're probably worth something. Okay, this is taking a lot longer than I figured. I've gone through maybe about 200 of the cards, and wow, there is everything from, well, Legends, there's a Legends card, to, well, Current Core, or that is the 2019s, right? No. Somewhere in here I have Current Core. And everything in between. I mean, there's a complete, there's enough white Urza Saga cards to make me assume this little stack is just in the short quantity of cards that I've cut through, that I assume one of the things that this store was doing was breaking apart prepackaged decks looking for the rare cards. And this is all of because everything in here is pretty much every part of the Urza Saga all white deck, missing the rare cards. So I have a feeling that there's a lot of that in here. Plus just their flotsam and jetsam of their stock. Was it worth the $8? Well, so far, actually, yes, because a lot of these cards, even in the condition these are in, and that's an interesting point in and of itself, even in the condition these cards are in, and I apologize for the shaky cam footage, is worth the value. Like this card, for example, I think it's worth 10 cents, even though it's in quote-unquote played condition. So assuming that there are 500 cards in here, which I have at this point absolutely zero doubt based on the quantity, and assuming the average cost of 8 to 10 cents a card, yeah, it was probably worth the $8, quite honestly. This is a lot better than you get if you went and spent $10 or $15 on just random cards at a random shop. Other than, obviously if you just spent random cards, you'd be getting exactly what you wanted, not what, some bozo in a shop has picked out. But, yeah, so far I'm actually pretty happy, and doubly so considering that, I'm trying to kind of get myself back to where I was when I lost all of my Magic cards, and I just went from basically having a few of the current last couple of years core sets to, like I said, there's some Legends in here. There's some of the I can't think of what they're called now, but the lab ones. If I find any like unglued or unhinged cards in here, I will be really happy because I love playing with those. Would I suggest this as somebody who's a tournament player? No. No, because a lot of these cards, especially as old as they are, have all kinds of weird rules and attachments to them. But for someone who's just a casual player who's playing with his friends and kind of wants an edge, and wants to have a lot of cards, yeah, it's probably not a bad deal. Considering that if you buy one of these sets, you're going to have the same problem that I'm having right now, which is like separating the wheat from the chaff. I mean, literally, one of the biggest challenges that I face as a novice, I've always been a bit of a novice to intermediate player, is how do I assemble a deck out of all these cards? And being as I see some, like I said, I see evidence that there's some pre-assembled decks that are just missing the rares, and knowing what I have in my collection, I could probably pick through what I have and either replace those rares directly or come up with cards that are similar in usage and play to those cards to assemble some pretty decent decks out of this that are playable. So yeah, I would definitely mildly recommend this, doubly so if you already do the Wish.com thing and have $8 to kill and aren't doing anything else with it. Yeah, it's great. So so I'm going to give it a thumbs up, with the caveat again that if you're an expert player or a tournament player, you might not want to necessarily imbibe in this because you're getting everybody else's cast-offs. At any rate, that's it for this video. Yeah, apologies for the shaky cam, everyone, but this is what you get when you don't have your little stand handy.